Shalom Aleichem. I hope that you, our wonderful students, parents, faculty, have had a wonderful and restorative summer filled with wonderful adventures. As we look forward to returning to school in just a couple of weeks, I want to think about education with you. What does it take to become a really good teacher and a wonderful learner? Is it all about learning new skills by repetition? Or is it about innovative, creative, individual interpretation? Well, both, of course. After all, the Torah gives us a hint of this in its own words, speaking about the importance of education. In a passage known to us through the Shema, but found in the book of Deuteronomy, we read, Vishinantam levanecha, teach them to your children well. What does this mean, to teach your children well? How do you do that? One hint may be that the word vishinantam includes the word shnayim, which means two or twice. This is one theory of education. It's all about repetition. A parent or a teacher speaks to their child or their student and asks them to repeat after me. In fact, that very process of repetition is essential to how we acquire language in the first place. We listen to our parents, our first teachers, as they speak. We follow along as they read. We repeat after them. And eventually, we too acquire the ability to speak and to read. If you think about it, shinun, or repetition, is essential to learning your math facts, or how to take a foul shot, or to learn lab procedure. All of these things require you to go over and over again until the process becomes second nature. So shinun, vishinantam, you shall repeat them after your parents and after your teachers, is one important part of education. It's often derided, but I think that's a mistake, because also repetition is part of how we create community, how we have a sense of collective culture. When all of our children, all of our students know the words to the same prayer or song, right? When they all have studied the same literature, then they become a community of learners. And so vishinantam, you shall teach them well, in the sense of repeating, is part of the process of creating a learning community. However, that's not the only form of learning. The word vishinantam might mean something different altogether. Shinayim are our teeth. They're sharp, and they are how we take apart food so that we can digest it more easily. Rashi, the great medieval commentator on the Bible, says that vishinantam comes from lashon chidud, the language of sharpening, like teeth. And his point is that the goal of teaching children, the goal of raising up students, is for them to become harif, to become sharp, to become analytical, to become creative, so that they can read and analyze and gain new interpretations that they alone could gain. And so this is a very different form of education. Here, the parent or the teacher is encouraging the child to explore with fresh eyes, to acquire new insights, and in that way, not only to become a more confident learner, but also to contribute to the body of knowledge and wisdom in a larger society. So which is it? Of course, it is both. We at Golda Academy employ both methodologies. We want our students to learn their facts, to acquire the skills, to build a learning community, to become part of a group. That acculturation is a very important part of all education, certainly at Golda Academy. And yet we also want to nurture the unique ability of each of our students, so that they are not just repeating what former generations have to teach, but they are also adding to the body of knowledge, so that they are becoming confident citizens, scholars, and members who are of our larger community, who can take their place eventually as leaders as we face new challenges ahead. I look forward so much to welcoming our students back to campus and to being in the presence of learners who are joining the conversation of ancient knowledge and wisdom, and are also adding their own unique voices. L'hitraot b'karov. We'll see you really soon. Enjoy the final days of summer.